Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So first of all, apologies. Yesterday I did not take class because of some of the cold and cough
Sir,
issues I
how are you
face.
feeling now? It's fine.
Yeah, I'm
It's
fine.
fine. One,
Yeah,
one
I'm
or
fine.
2 days is fine because I heard that in our area, like seasonal fevers, situation is not going good. That's what.
Yeah, thank you so very much for asking. Yeah, I'm okay now. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we can discuss about now attacks. So these attacks is not based on any book or any material. This particular attacks, I made it like my own customization part. So what are the different types of classification of the attacks we are going to discuss now? First one is malware category. Second one is authentication failure category. Third one is spoofing category. Next one is flooding category. Next one is phishing email category. Next one is OASP top 10 category. It's a dedicated to layer 7 attacks as per OSI. Nothing but application layer 7 attacks. So next one is in case if I missed out anything, I will keep under like miscellaneous or others. So these are all the different types of category of the attacks we will discuss. So these attacks basically not only for the SIM tool cyber security incident investigation and forensic analysis. These attacks will cover about firewall investigations, EDR investigation, proxy investigation, and also web application firewall investigation. Almost all these sub-security technologies, whatever we discussed, like endpoint security and also network security. Next one is application security, your cloud security also. And I will add one more thing here is maybe wireless or Wi-Fi. So wireless and Wi-Fi in the interview point of view, they will not ask that much, but I'll make it like a separate category of the wireless and Wi-Fi category of the attacks. Okay, whatever it is applicable to on-premise, same thing is applicable to cloud as well. So these attacks is applicable to cloud also, except Wi-Fi. Remaining all other category of the attacks is applicable to cloud also. So these are all the different types of attacks we are going to discuss about around next to 5 to 6 classes. That may be what are popular attacks are there in the our day-to-day life or day-to-day regular attackers, whatever they are trying to do hacking part, and how we can take care of those appropriate instant lifecycle management as a part of the instant response. So let's start with malware category first initially. Under malware category, we'll discuss couple of attacks. After that, we'll go one by one. It will take approximate 5 to 6 classes. So first one is malware category. So under malware category, so first of all, before going to malware category of the attacks in-depth analysis, what is meant by malware? So malware is nothing but it's a malicious software program code a attacker will develop and he will install in the targeted machine as per cyberrkcybertechnology process. And finally, he will compromise the respective targeted machine as per MITRE attack framework or maybe cyberrkcybertechnology process. And finally, what is the objective of the attacker? Either he will ask maybe monetary functions or maybe bitcoins or maybe data. So that is about overall what is meant by malware. So for this one, if you want to become hacker, obviously you need how to develop a malware. So how to develop a program, how to develop malicious program code. So that basically it is not that much easy to develop a malicious code. This malicious code will be developed by the respective attackers. So how we can define this one now? It's a malicious software program code. And who will develop this one? Attacker will develop malware and he will inject. targeted mission based on cyber culture process and MITRE attack framework tactics and techniques. TTPs will keep tactics, techniques, and procedures. He will compromise targeted mission so that he will achieve his goals. Those goals are either data or else monetary functions. So in simple words, how we can define this one? So malware is malicious software. So that is the full form of the malware. So you can see first three letters of the malware is it mal, and the next three letters of the uh, software is a where. If you're combining these two, so first three letters here is mal. So next one is where. If you're combining together, we'll call it as malware. And finally, attacker will develop this malicious software program code, and he will choose the selection of the target as a recon or gathering the information. And finally, based on the different types of tactics and techniques and procedure, he will inject into the respective targeted mission, and he will compromise, and he will control as a command and control or remote control. And finally, he will ask either blackmailing of the respective customer or client, or maybe he will take care of the monetary function, and maybe he will use that particular data for his own purpose, or he will put in the respective public websites like dark reading website for selling purpose, so that indirectly you will get the money. In the similar way, he'll put in the other websites like a naked security and ISACA, ISC Square, European Council, India set, US set, and so on. So that is about malware. Now coming back, what are the sources of the malware? Nothing but how the malware is entering into the organization level. Sources of the malware. So there are three different ways malware will be entered into our organization level. First one is a drive-by downloads. Enter a question, guys. So drive-by downloads meaning here something we are downloading from the any website. So or any OneDrive or Google Drive or any GitHub or any Jenkins or any Terraform related websites. In that scenario, what will happen? Whatever respective malware is existing in that particular file, so that file maybe it contains malicious content, and in case if you are not using any EDR agent or antivirus agent or XDR agent in our machine, and also our EDR agent or antivirus agent or maybe our XDR agent is sleeping, obviously, so more chances are there to try to compromise our systems. So once again, I will give here, there are two different types of malwares. One is file-oriented malware, second is file-oriented malware. So those are types of the malwares basically. So second thing is not only through files, these malwares will come, even through file-less also malwares will appear. So that is the way how the attacker will develop the program. Okay. So additionally, I want to add one more thing. Operating system side malware is different. In the similar way, application side malware is different. So most of the cases, our EDR solution, antivirus solution, XDR solution, when the end user is downloading the respect to any malware, it is reaching to the operating system, maybe wherever it is downloading, whether it is a C drive or D drive or downloads or users and so on. So those files is coming to our OS level, then only it will identify is there any malware is existing or not. Not on the application side. Application side malware is different, and also OS side malware is different. All the endpoint security solutions like, as I mentioned, traditional antivirus or EDR or XDR solutions will completely work on the endpoint side or operating system side malware identification, blocking, and also either allowing or quarantine or safeguarding of the respective controls. On the application side, malware is completely different. So many people or so many customers, so many clients are facing the issues now. Whenever any file they are uploading, for example, maybe I'm uploading one of the file that is located in the OneDrive. So whatever file I'm uploading on the app control or web control on the application side and website side, that particular functionality cannot be done by our EDR and XDR solution. For that one, we have to use separate solutions. So what I want to try to say here, so application side malware is different and also endpoint or operating system side malware is different. So for these two difference also, we have tried to do and also implement security solutions. Okay. So now drive-by downloads is nothing but here something we are downloading from the internet or any websites or any application. So those files contain any malware. So that is called drive-by download. This is one of the interview question. What is meant by drive-by download? Something we are downloading from any internet facing related websites or any file or anything from the so internet facing websites, we can call it as a drive-by download. So through that particular thing, so malware is entering into our organization side. So that is the first one. Second one, we have through phishing email malware attachment. Malware attachment via phishing emails. So couple of times whenever we are getting the phishing emails, instead of the URL link, instead of the so malicious content is existing in the body of the content of the email. So attacker, what he will do, he will attach couple of the files related to Excel macros or maybe PDF document or maybe Word document or PPT document. For example, without knowing or unknowing, intentional or unintentional, so attacker will send emails to us in the form of the lotteries, in the form of the invoice copies, in the form of the attachments, and so on. So now with the excitement and also with the anxiety, so we'll see like what okay, so what we have done. So whether really we place the order and what I'm trying to going to get from Amazon or Flipkart or any other retail website. Same thing it's happened yesterday for me or day before yesterday. So I did not order anything, but I got a email from Amazon stating that I placed one of the order from PayPal from USA. So with the worth of $350. I did not place anything. So that particular email I got it from the respective so PayPal company as a so malicious domain name. But in that particular scenario, I should not click on that particular URL link or malicious malware attachment. So what will happen in case maybe my antivirus or EDR is sleeping or XDR agent is sleeping or unknown or inactive, more chances are there to try to get my system is getting compromised. So you should educate these particular things to even each and every employee in the organization. So not only from our professional or customers or clients oriented or corporate IT oriented, even we have to educate it to our neighbors and also colleagues and also family members and so on. So second one is malicious malware attachment via phishing email. Third one, peripheral device copying files, or this is also called device copying of the files from third party tools like memory stick or pen drive or external hard disk or floppy disk. So all these extra, there are so many, not only these four, there are so many. So peripheral meaning here, it's a neighbor device. What is the neighbor device for our laptop or workstation or desktop or computer or maybe any server or any database. Obviously, third party external devices like. So we can use memory stick. Memory stick, most of the UK people, they will use, instead of the pen drive, they will use memory stick. In the similar way, pen drive and also external hard disk or floppy devices, something you are copying any file. So in that particular scenario, you are copying some of the files and your antivirus or EDR or XDR agent is sleeping in mode. Obviously, malware is copied into our machines and finally our system will get compromised. So these are the three different types of sources of the malware. So how the attacker will inject malware into the end user machine or maybe host machine or servers and databases. Finally, he will try to compromise. So that is about sources of the malware. Now, types of malwares. So there are two different types of malwares. One is file oriented malware. Second one is fileless oriented malware. So what is mean by this one here? So file oriented malware, through files it will come as a malware injection our end user machine or host machine or server or database. So that is called file oriented. For example, maybe we can say like very dangerous files are 7z.rar .zip, nothing but z. So in the similar way, there are a lot of other files also in the format like CSV, .xml, .exe, nothing but Excel sheet, .doc, .ppt, okay, so .html and so on. So these are the different types of file formats. So whenever we are doing any policy related control or policy related rules, we have to make sure that one of the option name is called as file filtering option. So any dangerous files you will think like, so if you want to do whitelisting and blocklisting, directly we can create one of the policy or rule or regulation in our EDR tool and also next generation firewall tool as well. So these two tools are supporting file filtering and also file control and also whitelisting of the files and blocklisting of the files. Maybe we are blocking of the .7z or .rar or .z related files. So one of the business oriented file is coming via .7z. Maybe end user did not receive. Maybe he given complaint to us. Now we have to go and we have to verify why our phishing email gateway or maybe email security solution is blocked that particular thing, or why our EDR is blocked that particular thing, or why our firewall is blocked that particular 7z related file. What is the status of the respective policy we created or rule is created? So after doing the respective analysis using the hash value or maybe sandboxing environment, we have to conclude that it is legitimate. Yes, we can enable safeguarding of that particular file. And finally, we can deliver that file to the end user from the business point of view. So that is also we can do that. So here what we have to do in the firewall, one of the option name is called file filtering. So nothing but which files we have to allow and which files we have to block. So that particular option is available in the next generation firewall. In the similar way, email gateway or email security solution, whatever email gateway or email security solutions we are using like Office 365 Defender, Proofpoint, Ironport, Mimecast, for all those solutions, we can create one of the file filtering option via email control policy. So email security gateway. Third one nowadays, as I said, so EDR or XDR has a capability of file filtering also. Along with that one, so it will do the behavioral pattern. It will do the suspicious bad pattern, uh, even real-time monitoring, and in the past whatever issues it is happened. According to that one, it can go and it can identify. So even in the EDR, we can do this option. So yesterday, one of the candidate is attended dedicated to EDR tool only. That took CrowdStrike. That took CrowdStrike. In the first round of the interview, what are the questions they asked? So what is mean by EDR? What is the functionality of the EDR? So what is the difference between EDR versus traditional antivirus? From the functional and feature and also even the cost perspective, how to explain about this particular differences. In the similar way, how can you do global exclusions versus normal exclusions, like a local exclusions? What Whenever any EDR agent is sleeping or unknown or inactive, how can you troubleshoot? Next one is, so in case you are installing the EDR agent in server side and CPU utilization and RAM utilization is reaching 70%. In that scenario, how can you troubleshoot? That's it. So these are all the 5 questions are expected from PwC company. Price Water Cooper House is one of the US based auditing company. That's all. That particular candidate is selected for the first round of the interview, and now he went for the client round. That's all. So dedicated to EDR also, there are so many vacancies are there. So Google also recruited very recently approximate 10 to 15 members via third party dedicated to EDR vacancy. Even though they have their own EDR solution, but they looked into different EDR solutions like CrowdStrike, Sentinel-1, Sophos EDR, McAfee, Trend Micro, and also Carbon Block. Okay, are you getting what I'm saying here? So dedicated to EDR also there are a lot of vacancy. Why I'm saying and why I'm bringing EDR concept now? Because EDR, XDR, and also antivirus can prevent and block all malware category of the attacks. Okay, so this is file oriented related malware category of the attacks. Next one is fileless oriented malware. So through fileless, how the respective malware will inject by the attacker. So it is possible. So those fileless oriented malwares are lol bins. What is meant by lol bins? Living of the land binaries. So as I said previously, when we are discussing about firewall related vacancies and also malware related part, so Dell is recruited dedicated to EDR vacancy, approximate 20 members. Even though they have done the interview around 500 members, they did not take not even single person. So what is mean a fileless oriented malware here? So without file also malware can be injected. How is it possible? Through lol bins, leaving off the Landry binaries. So whatever payload attacker is sending to us, so that particular payload he will inject the malware. How is it possible? Through WMI, nothing but Windows Message Instrumentation Keys. Whoever is working on Windows, they are aware of this one, WMI part. In the similar way, we have PowerShell execution, Python execution, and Perl execution. Even we have another one is called as Windows registry keys. So this is applicable to even Linux as well. So these things, via these things, attacker will try to inject malware into our end user machine. So this is the way how the attacker using fileless, without any file extension or file category. So attacker will try to inject malware. So how we can identify this one? Through proc ID, nothing but process ID, and also we have to use different types of open source and also commercial tools, and also so couple of other tools like sandboxing environment to identify these lol bins or PowerShell execution or Python execution or Perl execution, or even we can identify the Windows registry keys as well. So how is it possible? So it is possible via through static analysis of the malware. Nothing but whatever binaries are entering into our payload as a form of in the packet. For that one, we have to use the Packet Engineering Studio, Autorun, Wireshark, and also we have a lot of other tools as well to try to do the static analysis of the malware. So what is meant by static here? So static is completely based on the signature based. So nothing but here, every malware, whatever it is identified, it has the malware infection signature. And whenever it is matching the respective file, automatically it can identify. Then what is the dynamic analysis of the malware? It doesn't have any signature, but based on the behavior and based on the pattern and based on the replications of the malware, it will inject either one system of the respective end user system or maybe multiple system. So these are all the different things will fall under all these analysis right now. Whatever I am trying to say here, it's a L3 level. So we have dedicated person who will take care of the reverse engineering of the malware analysis and also directly malware analysis in static and dynamic in nature. So that will fall under the L3 of the cyber security analysis. Okay. So now, what are the different types of the malwares we do have? Fileless is nothing but it does not contain any file category or file extension. So it's everything like a program oriented part or process oriented part. So now types of malwares or category of the malwares I can keep. So there are different types of category of the malwares it will come. Yeah, there are a lot of tools are there. Each and every tool nowadays it will identify fileless oriented malware also. As I said, so whatever EDR and XDR tools we are using like a CrowdStrike and also Sentinel-1, Resolution-1 security, Carbon block. All these tools are there, identify list oriented malware also. For this one, we have to create one of the dedicated policy. Yeah, category of the malwares or types of the malwares I will keep here. So first one is virus. So second one is worm. There are so many category of the malwares. So next one, Trojan. Otherwise, what I will do here, I will keep like a category of the malware. So whenever entry point of view, see both are same only. Types of malware, what you will think like file oriented, file is oriented. So whenever interviewer is asking, you can clarify because here also all these are types of only. So that is the reason better you can clarify with the interview. Are expecting the answer via through file and file oriented or less types of the malwares like a different category of the malwares. So I'll keep like a here types only. So virus, worm, Trojan, rootkit, logic bomb, adware, spyware, mimikatz, PUP, potentially unwanted program, keyloggers, or keystroking, privilege escalation, rat, remote access trojan, very importantly, lolbins. Next one is the ransomware, botnet, yeah. So in case if I missed out anything, I will keep add that one in our discussion as well. So around 15 to 18 we do have part of the malware category of the attacks. Now we can go and we can discuss about in-depth analysis of the each and every attack definition and also how we can prevent it and what are the appropriate remediation techniques we can take care. Okay, so that is the agenda for the today and today evening class as well. So first one is virus. So virus, obviously, so malware is the malicious software program code. This word is common for all the 15 attacks. Irrespective of the attack, you can keep like, okay, so virus is a malicious software program code. Worm is a malicious software program code. Trojan, it's a malicious software program code. Rootkit, it's a malicious software program code. Rat, it is a malicious software program code. Ransomware attack, it's a malicious software program code. So you have to keep this particular word for each and every attack definition. Okay, so now let's go and discuss about virus now. So it is a malicious software program code. Attacker will inject into the targeted machine so that he will compromise targeted machine using cyber killing process or MITRE attack TTPs. And finally, he will achieve his actions or objectives or goals. Now, what is the keyword you have to remember? Virus is a self-replication within a system only. So, what is the keyword you have to remember? So, virus is self-replicated within a system. What is meant by the self-replication here? Self-replication meaning here, keeping one file is injecting via malware, it will keep multiple files like a, so for example, maybe one of the uh, malware is coming via .exe through Excel sheet. Now self-replication like a exe is like a parent here now. Child or replication copies, it will make it like .exe.1, exe.2, exe.3, and exe.4 and so on. So it will keep it like multiple other copies as well. That is called self-replication within a system. But it will not compromise other systems. It's self-replicated within a system, meaning here multiple copies of the malwares will be produced and it will change the extension of the file or maybe category of the file or maybe behavior of the file pattern. So that is called virus. But on the other hand, we have worm. Worm is self-replication within a network. If one system is getting compromised, other systems also will get compromised through networking or through application or through maybe so any email oriented in such a way. So that is called worm. So virus is self-replication within a system only, and worm is self-replication within a network. That is the main difference. Now you can tell me whatever our day-to-day couple of diseases we are identifying, and I will ask now you can tell me whether it is a worm or virus. Corona is a virus or worm?
Virus.
Virus.
It's a worm. Corona is a
Worm.
worm because it will spread all over the world, right? It's spreaded all over the world.
Exactly, that's correct. So basically, so these people who have invented the respective, so they will keep always virus. They will not keep anything word like worm. So corona basically it's like a worm. It is spreading about not only one system, it will spread about multiple systems. That is like a worm. You are right. What about cold?
Cold is
Cold is
also
also
warm, sir.
warm
Worm. Cold
only.
is also worm.
Warm only because it
Yes,
will spread randomly.
yes, correct. What about cancer?
So it's a
It is
virus.
virus.
In the person itself, it will grow along.
Exactly, that's correct. Same way, so here also, so how we can identify virus and worm? Maybe you can ask, sir, how can we identify whenever any alarm or any security incident is triggering? Can we identify via virus or worm, or maybe can we identify normal malware category of the attacks? For each and every category of the attack, we have to create a correlation rule or policy. According to that one, we can identify whether it is a virus or worm or a trojan or ransomware. And each and every attack also we have to define the logic using Boolean algebra function that may be and or not. This is also one of the interior question. How can you create a correlation rule with customized one, not whatever tool is by default it is providing? In most of the 99% of the interviews, we can expect this question. Do you know how to create a correlation rule in sim tool? Or do you know how to create any policies customized one? So in our EDR or any other tool. So this one is the regularly asked question about how to create a correlation rule. So correlation rules also we can call it as a policy, and also we can also call it as a rules and regulation or protocol. So any security tool, a simple funda, it will work on. So based on the rules and policies or protocols. So finally, it will detection methods are defining based on the signature and machine learning and artificial intelligence capability. Based on these two parameters only. One is policies and rules or protocols or correlation rules. Second one is detection methods like a machine learning capability or signature capability or behavioral pattern capability or artificial intelligence capability. According to these two parameters only, any security tool will work. That may be EDR or DLP or encryption or firewall or proxy and so on, including SIM tool as well. In SIM tool, that particular process we can call it as a UBA, user entity behavior analytics. Okay, so now how to mitigate this particular virus? Whenever any virus category of the attacks, it will happen. So I want to give one of the practical example, whatever it's happened to shamun. Yeah, shamun, it's one of the virus. It's one of the biggest history uh, cyber attack. It's happened all over the worldwide. So couple of times, even in the entry point of also, can you give? So what are the very dangerous cyber attacks are happened till today from 1984 or when the computer is invented? So we have a lot of attacks. Example, log4j. Log4j December 21st, 2021, December 19th, 2021. It's one of the zero-day vulnerability. And very recent one is Microsoft global outage. Because of that one, so many customers are got compromised. Prior to that one, even we do have the logistics based, one of the supply based company using SolarWinds, it is got compromised. Obviously, ransomware, it will be there in the every day in the news. Along with that one, we have Shamun and Stuxnet. So these are all the couple of very dangerous attacks are happened in the history of the entire cybersecurity field. So what is mean by Shamun here? So Shamun is one of the virus. And so what happened? Iran and also USA, whenever if you want to develop anything related to nuclear power related stations, or if you want to develop any missiles that may be GSLV based or PSLV based launching vehicles, or if you want to create any so atom bomb and oxygen bomb and so on, we have to take approval from NATO. What is NATO? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And who are all the members of the NATO? So China, France, UK, Russia, and USA. So these are all the five companies, powerful companies, all over the worldwide. Even India wants to develop any missiles or anything related to GSLV, PSLV, or something if you want to launch. We should not violate whatever NATO is defined for the all over the worldwide. Otherwise, third world war it will appear, obviously. But what Iran has done without taking any permission from the respective NATO, So they have created their own. So nuclear power stations. So if you want to build up any these related missiles or rockets or anything related to nuclear power related part, obviously we have to take the respect to approval part. But without taking the permission, Iran is completely implemented that nuclear power related part. And what America has done, obviously, America always want to become global leader. They want to control all other countries, obviously. But anyway, China has become a lot of competition to reduce their power as a dragon part. So let's see anyway what will happen in future. So coming back, wantedly USA based uh, uh, cyber criminals, they developed one of the shamun virus and they destroyed entire, so Iran based whatever uh, nuclear power station they are developing. So they injected that particular shamun virus and all those nuclear power stations. If you want to develop any nuclear power station, rarest earth materials are required. What are the rarest earth materials available in the earth? Obviously, uranium, strontium, and thorium. So these are all the things are required related to atoms to develop the any nuclear power. So this is the way how the complete devastating of the nuclear power station they compromised by developing one of the virus. That virus name is called Shamun. It is one of the biggest attack it's happened. Because of that one, they lost a lot of business loss. Okay. So not only this one, there are so many virus names are there in the news, like Anna Kournikova and also Heartbleed, along with the least privilege of this um, cryptography related sweet ciphers, basically. And also, I love you is also one of the virus. There are so many virus names are there in the news. Okay. So now how to prevent or remediate? These are the different types of category of the virus attacks. Prevention or remediation or mitigation of virus attacks. So obviously, we have to implement antivirus, or so current generation of the antivirus, we can call it as EDR or XDR solution we have to implement. In the similar way, we have to implement anti-malware solution. We have a lot of tools are available in the market like malware analysis tools. Okay. So next one we have firewall, next generation firewall. In the firewall also, maybe you can ask now question, how firewall can be prevented malware category of the attacks? Yes, it can be prevented. So malware will come through phishing email. So phishing email, it is nothing but it's like a inbound traffic or outbound traffic. Nothing but as per transferring of the respective file, obviously it will transfer via which layer? Which layer? As per YSI.
Sir, come again, sir. Sorry.
So malwares will come and will transfer from source to destination which layer? I'm sending one of the email from X to Y as a sender to recipient. What is the layer number?
It will through data link layer.
Data link layer, are you sure?
Transport.
No, it will come network layer and also application layer. In the application layer, we have to create one of the MX record, and also in the network layer, IP packets. So every message, whatever we are sending via, it will traverse via only through packets, IP header and also payload. In the payload only attacker will inject the malware. So we have to say two answers, application also network. Obviously, anyway, transport will delivery from source to destination without any error control. But here main layers are, yes, application and network. So indirectly transport as well, these three. So that is the reason whatever antivirus and EDR, XDR we are going to discuss in the future, it will completely about OS oriented only. So what about whenever any malware is coming via phishing email. So how we can identify that one? Once the file is downloading the end user, it is downloaded, then only our EDR agent can be identified. In the transfer level, data at a transit level, how it will identify? Which tool it will identify? Obviously, perimeter security tool, that is nothing but next generation firewall. In the next generation firewall, we have to create one of the profile or policy is called as antivirus. If it is FortiGate firewall, if it is a Palo Alto, we have to configure as a threat prevention. If it is Cisco ASA firewall, we have to configure as antivirus. So that is on the transport layer or network layer based malware, how the malware is entering into via through emails. Okay, so that's why we have to keep, so preventive or remediation or mitigation. Let's go and prove it practically as well. So as I said, in the FortiGate, we can call it as directly antivirus. In the Palo Alto, we can call it as threat prevention. Under threat prevention, we have once again multiple security licenses we have to take. One is antivirus, second one is IDS IPS, and also third one is network IDS, network IPS, wireless IDS and wireless IPS as well. This one right now I'm showing on. So can really malware can be stopped by next generation firewall or not? In the perimeter side or internet facing side? Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see here antivirus profile. One of the security profile we have to configure on the network side as well. So this network side, so what are the default one? By default, FortiGate vendor or Palo Alto or Cisco ASA or Juniper or Sonic Wall or WatchGuard. All these vendors, so we can call it as by default. Okay, so firewall vendors or next generation firewall vendors. You can see here inspected protocols are HTTP or HTTPS, nothing but drive-by downloads. Whenever any person is downloading any file from through website, it has a capability to identify malware is existing that particular file or not. That is called drive-by download, sources of the malware. Second one, SMTP, POP3, IMAP. These three called as messaging oriented protocols. Via phishing email malware attachment. What is second source of the malware we discussed?
Phishing mail.
Phishing email via malware attachment. FTP and CIPS. CIP is nothing but server message block. Another name for CIPFS is, so it is a server message block. Ransomware category of the attacks. What third source of the malware category we discussed?
Drive-by download.
No. Copying the files via pen drive or memory stick or external hard disk. So these are the sources of the malware. Our next generation firewall also has a capability of prevent and block or remediate or quarantine, allow or save all malware category of the attacks. Whatever theoretical we discussed, whether it is practically matching or not. Matching or not?
Yes, sir.
Can it block fileless malware as well?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Now also file filter part I said already. So which files we have to enable and which files we have to block. So that is called file filtering. That's what I said. Okay, so here, whenever any file is entering via our organization side, either through email or through drive-by downloads, in that scenario, so it can go on, it can do the infection part of that particular file. not only based on the signature, even based on the our behavioral pattern, firewall can do take care of the signature versus behavioral pattern as well. Okay, so now what we have to create here, so what is the file name and which files we have to allow and which files we have to block. File types here, file types means here what, as I said, .7z, .rar, dot, okay, so z, these are all the very dangerous file, .plm also. Okay, so this is the way how we can take care of, yeah, by the by someone is asked fileless category of the, so through next generation firewall, fileless oriented malware we cannot stop it, only through file oriented only. But EDR and XDR tools, yes, it can block fileless oriented as well. So that is about practical versus theoretical, how our tools are blocking these particular things. But even though couple of times, I have one question now. Without using any ADR or XDR or anti-malware or next generation firewall, how can you identify malware? Anyone? Or virus or worm? Without using any automated tool. Whatever tools we are discussing, everything is automated. So it is giving based on the signature, based on the behavior, based on the file or based on the files and so on. But I want to identify without using any automated tool. How can we identify malware?
Task manager.
Yes, for this one, obviously, end user has to give complaint stating that. I forgot to say one more thing here. Basically, symptoms of the malware. I will add that one. So what are the symptoms of the malware? So that is also we'll discuss now. So whenever any system is got compromised via malware, so what are the symptoms we can identify? Automatic restarts. Automatic restarts is called as persistence. Continuous monitoring. System hang up. So cursor movement, we are clicking on somewhere and so cursor will move somewhere, some other place. So cursor movement, CPU utilization will be very high. So because of this reason, even our EPS count also will increase. So CPU utilization will become very high means what? Remote control can be operated by the attacker using C2C, command and control, correct? So now attacker can control our machine. So in that scenario, maybe he can do the flooding of the request to the target machine from his that particular machine. He will try to compromise other machines also through networking protocols. In that scenario, obviously flooding of the request will appear our EPS. What is EPS? Events per second will increase. So whenever we are purchasing any SIM tool, I'm bringing a couple of topics here, not only our EDR tool. So whenever our EPS count is increasing in the SIM tool, what we purchased? For example, we purchased our SIM tool for 5,000 events per second, but it is increasing and it is crossed limit to 5,500. How can you troubleshoot? How can you fine tune? This is also one of the question related to administration and implementation side. If you are going for the SIM tool administration and implementation fine tuning more than L3 level of the cyber security SOC operations, they can expect these type of things also. Either flooding of the request are doing by our external attacker. Because of that reason, EPS count is become very high, or maybe DOS or DDoS category of the attacks already it's happening in our system. Because of that reason, flooding of the requests are increased, or events per second count is increased, or maybe. So backend they are doing patch management. So even whenever they are doing patch management, they will push all those patch related Tuesday patch updates or normal patch updates or security patch updates to respective targeted mission simultaneously. Because of these reasons, our EPS count will increase. Now we have to go and we have to verify whether it is a legitimate activity is doing by our internal organization, or maybe external attack is trying to do. According to that one, we have to take the appropriate action through which log source logs our EPS count is becoming very high. First, we have to identify that particular log source or else data source. Is there any outbound connections are going on from that particular log source to the attacker command and control machine? That is nothing but outbound connections. So that is one thing. Next one, RAM utilization. So automatic shutdown. So these are the couple of ways how the system can be so identify symptoms of the malware. Mr. Akil. So now, if you want to identify without any EDR tool or without next generation firewall or without any malware analysis tool, how can you do analysis? Akil is there in the call? Ravi? Sandeep?
By seeing all these symptoms, as you said just now.
Okay, so you are a cybersecurity analyst. How opposite person is aware of the system hang up and so on?
Yeah.
You don't need any monitoring tool. That's what I said. You don't need any real-time monitoring tool in your hands.
From the Unix front, sir, like by using PS-EF, like what and all the process which are running. So whether it is related to OS or whether it is related to application, based on that also we can judge.
No, I'm not asking that much in-depth technical. Simple basic question. How can you identify without any monitoring tool whether system is got compromised by malware? All those things you are saying about once you are identifying the malware in the system.
We can
So
check for
system
finance
will not
and
act as normal, right? It will behave something different. Based on that also we can.
Simple guys, without giving the end user complaint to help desk or service desk team or SOC team, we cannot predict the system is got compromised by a malware. Whatever you are said like investigation steps, that is second phase. I am asking about first phase. Without any alert, without any SIM tool, without any EDR tool, without any malware analysis tool, as a cyber security analyst, we will come to know end system is got compromised. What is notification? How we can get it?
So if any end user has been given complaint to the help desk, so the help desk will contact us.
Exactly.
This
That's
is
what I'm
what
expecting. This is one of the entire question, guys. So without any monitoring tool, how can you identify the malware and how can you take care of the infection cleaning or how can you take care of the remediation part? So someone has to give the complaint to first help desk team or maybe directly SOC team. So now, okay, you identified. So later what you have to do, you said right. So we can go to, if it is Windows, task manager, if it is Linux or Unix, we have to go to respective files, which files are consuming higher bandwidth or utilization. We have to take one by one file and we have to take the hash value identification and we have to check the reputation. It's like a trial and error method. Then only we can identify through which file is causing that particular malware infection. Later, we have to do the respective remediation or mitigation part. So whether we have to delete the file And is there any sensitivity of the file is existing, or can we clean the file or not? All those things will be second phase. Okay, so this will fall under the basically, so static analysis of the malware and dynamic analysis of the malware without any monitoring tool of the malware prevention part. Okay, so these three tools, if you are implementing, fourth one also I'll keep, malware analysis tools. So what is this malware analysis tools? We have a couple of tools are existing like F5. It's a very, very famous tool, along with load balancer like LTM and GTM. And also we have so FireEye. It's one of the very, very famous tool from the malware analysis side. And also we have CrowdStrike. And also we have Palo Alto ATP, Advanced Threat Prevention, inbuilt capability, and POTI sandbox environment capability. There are so many tools are there dedicated to malware analysis. Along with WASP top 10 category of the attacks, very dangerous attacks are malware category of the attacks. Okay, so this is the way how we can prevent and detect and block or quarantine or safeguard or malware prevention using automated tools. So that's all about overall virus. Not only for virus prevention mechanism, all these four, whatever we discussed, these four will come for each and every malware category of the attack, preventive and remediation steps. Nothing but all these category of the attacks, how we can detect and block and quarantine and mitigate and also safeguard using these four tools. Okay, second one, worm. So how we can define this worm now? So it is a malware or malicious software program code. Attacker will inject malicious software program code on the end user machine, and he will compromise by installing and executing and exploiting the malware. Cyber kill chain process or MITRE ATT&CK framework. So what is the keyword we have to remember here? So worm is self-replicated within a network. So what is mean by this one? Once again, through networking protocols or as per MITRE ATT&CK framework, what is the phase of the respective issue? Yes, without human intervention, it will identify. You're right. Through networking protocols or lateral movement techniques. What is lateral movement? Lateral movement is nothing but if one system will get compromised through network, other systems also will get compromised. That is called lateral movement. Please remember, worm equals to lateral movement. Couple of interview questions, they will say like, even though it's a reality and practical world, it's not happened really, but they can expect. One of the Infosys client round interview question, 100 servers got compromised at a time. How can you do the investigation? 100 servers are got compromised at a time. How can you do investigation? So that 100 machines, we don't know how it is got compromised. Why it is compromised through malware? Why it is compromised through worm? Why it is compromised through phishing email malware attachment? Why it is compromised via worm? So we should identify first thing. So now here, it's not a technical oriented question, first of all. It's a logical oriented question. Most of the people will think it's a technical, but no, it's a logical oriented question. 100 machines are got compromised. With the same file execution, it is got compromised, or with the multiple files execution, it is got compromised. What is the most probability are there? to compromise 100 machines at a time through single file or through multiple files. Through single files or multiple files. Possibility. Single file with a single hash value so that every system is got compromised at a time. Multiple files with multiple hash values will come. Then in that scenario, we should get 100 alerts. Okay. So anyway, that we can discuss later. Through networking protocols or lateral movement, other systems also get compromised. So that is worm. So same thing, one of the worm, it's happened to Saudi Aramco. So it's one of the dangerous attack. It's happened in the history of the cyber attacks. What is Stuxnet here? So Stuxnet is a worm. And so here what attacker has done. So attacker through Windows NTLM, through phishing email malware attachment, whatever 30,000 machines are there in the Saudi Aramco. Obviously, Saudi Aramco, it's the number one oil exporting and importing company in the worldwide up to 2015. Who is number one right now? Oil exporting and importing company. Who is number one?
Reliance.
Reliance, that's right. Reliance is number one right now in the worldwide. So they are exporting petrol to other countries as well. But in 2012 to 2015, that particular time period, so Saudi Aramco is number one company. And so Saudi is always close to, so respect to USA, and they are sending and they are exporting lot of billions and millions of the barrels of the raw crude petroleum to other countries. Now Israel is a competitor to our respective USA. What Israel hacking group has done, they injected one of the Stuxnet worm into respective Israel-based, sorry, Saudi-based systems, and all these 30,000 machines are got compromised through Stuxnet. Approximate 2 weeks of the time period, entire Saudi Aramco company is shut down. One day itself, how much millions of the, okay, so respect to reals, they will get it as a currency. There are so many. How much money lost to now Saudi Aramco company? This is what happened reality. Okay, there are so much of the billions of the, so money lost by the Saudi Aramco company. Okay, so this one of the practical scenario. Now I will ask one of the question to someone, Mr. 24002. I'm not sure who is this guy or girl. 24002. Hello. Am I audible? 24004. 24004. 24005. Please respond back at least yes or no. 24006.
Yes.
What are the mitigation for worm? What are the mitigation for worm?
Isolation of network.
Isolation of the network directly.
Yes, sir.
What did I say? Any malware category of the attacks, we have to take care of all these implementing of the antivirus or EDR, XDR solutions, anti-malware, next generation firewall, and malware analysis tools. What are 15 to 18 malware category of the attacks we are going to discuss? For each and every attack, mitigation steps are these four. Once infection, it is coming to the respective system or target machine, you are right. We'll do the isolation, we'll do the business impact analysis and risk assessment. According to that one, we can take the appropriate action, how we can make sure that infection should be cleaned. that is later stage. But what are the first steps? We have to make sure that on the endpoint side, we have to implement all these solutions.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, guys, that's all for today morning. Once again, I will take class today evening at 7 p.m. IST. And the next 1 week, I will take morning as well as evening. And also one more thing, as I said, so coming Saturday and Sunday, you have mock interviews. Did you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will take 10 to 15 minutes for each and every candidate, and I will take the interviews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, guys, then see you evening at 7 p.m. IST. And we are a little bit lagging. That is the reason I'm planning to take morning and evening for at least 1 week. Once we are moving to endpoint security, I will take only 1 day.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys, then thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.